Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Mokhtar. The Madani administration has now reached a point where many observers believe denial is no longer plausible. First, the Attorney General's chambers announced no further action, NFA, on Zahid Hamidi's corruption-related charges. And then Zahid moved to convert his discharge not amounting to an acquittal or DNAA into a full acquittal. Now, to many Malaysians, the message is clear. Power no longer just delays accountability. Now it appears to erase it. This is not reform that has stalled. This is reform that is inverted. For years, we were told to be patient, sabar. Institutions must be allowed to work. Justice cannot be rushed. Political change takes time. Yes, we understand all that. But those arguments appear to collapse the moment the system shows remarkable efficiency in favor of those deemed politically indispensable. Now, the Zahid Hamidi saga is no longer about guilt or innocence. That question was never fully adjudicated in court. What matters now is how the system acted, when it acted, and who benefited. And on all three measures, it appears that the Madani government has fallen short of the reform promises it made. So, justice without adjudication, it is not justice. 47 charges, okay? Criminal breach of trust, corruption, money laundering. These are serious allegations, publicly prosecuted, publicly debated. And yet they were never resolved by a final court decision. Instead, Malaysians are told that after further investigations, internal assessments and professional evaluations, the evidence was now insufficient. No judge weighed this in open court. No public reasoning was tested in adversarial scrutiny. The case simply ended. And this is not legal clarity. This is administrative finality. A system that resolves politically sensitive cases through prosecutorial discretion rather than judicial determination raises unavoidable questions. Why now? Why now? If the evidence was weak, why proceed with charges? Why did insufficiency become decisive only after political realities shifted? These are reasonable analytical questions, and ignoring them erodes trust in the system. So you look at it, okay? It goes from DNAA to NFA to acquittal. This is accountability by attrition. Previously, we were told a DNAA was not an acquittal. Accountability remained possible. And yet, under the current Attorney General, the NFA, no further action decision, effectively closes the door for now. Prosecution may be theoretically possible in the future, but politically it is highly unlikely. Accountability appears now to depend on politics and not evidence. And this sets a troubling precedent. If someone is politically important, time becomes their defense. Delay becomes their strategy, and discretion becomes absolution. Zahid, of course, he now seeks a full acquittal, not after a verdict, but after procedural exhaustion. Not because a court cleared him, but because the system stepped aside. This is not vindication. This is procedural escape. So, the government often invokes institutional independence, but it does it selectively. Institutions are sacrosanct when critics demand explanations. Prosecutorial discretion is untouchable when outcomes favour the politically connected. And yet these same institutions act swiftly and decisively when ordinary citizens are involved. This double standard fuels public frustration. Discretion is not new, but when it consistently favours the powerful, while the powerless have no such relief, the system appears calibrated, not neutral. And then we have Anwar Ibrahim's silence, which speaks very, very loudly. Now, the Prime Minister does not need to interfere to bear responsibility. His responsibility is moral leadership. This was the moment to insist on transparency, to welcome judicial determination, to acknowledge public concern and explain why this outcome does not necessarily betray reform promises. Instead, there is silence. For a leader whose career was built on moral clarity, that silence is striking. It suggests that reform may have limits, and those limits appear to be defined by political necessity. So, has truth prevailed? Perhaps not. Zahid declares that truth has prevailed, but in a democracy, truth is established through transparent adjudication, tested evidence, and reasoning that can be examined and challenged. Truth arrived through prosecutorial withdrawal is procedural convenience, not verified truth. Now, the government may argue that everything done was lawful, perhaps, but legality is not the same as legitimacy. Reform is not about doing the minimum the law allows. It is about restoring public confidence in power. And on that measure, this government appears to have fallen short. So what is the real verdict? This episode will outlive legal explanations. It will harden into public memory. A government promising reform oversaw the quiet conclusion of a major corruption case involving a senior political leader. Not through a court verdict, not through exoneration, but through attrition. Reform was not defeated by opposition. It was neutralized from within, slowly, politely, and professionally. The system moves on. Zahid Hamidi may walk fully acquitted, but something essential has been lost: the belief that the government would draw a line it would not cross. But that line is gone. So what do you think this means for reform in Malaysia? Comment below and let's discuss. Thank you for listening and speak to you soon. If you like my videos, please press like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please also visit my Patreon channel if you wish to sponsor me. Thank you.